Welcome to one more episode of Tools for Thought Onboarding. In this episode, we'll be looking at the experience of using an app for the first time. And this time, we'll be reviewing one app called Lattics or Lattics. I'm not entirely sure, but the main proposal of this app is that it's for efficient knowledge creation. And we know that research is all about knowledge creation, and I am all about efficient knowledge creation. So I was really interested on having a look at the app and see how it actually works. It took me a little bit of time to actually record this video, but as you are here, let's check it out. How is the process? How is the experience? How is the feeling of looking at the Lattics for the first time? So let's come with me. So here I'm sharing my screen. This is the website of the app. So as I said, propose that improve efficiency of knowledge creation. So I was really interested on that. So I went ahead before and I downloaded. I already have the app. And also the team at Lattics, they gave me a code so that I can test the pro version to really see what the app can actually do. So I'm pretty excited about that. And you can just look here from what they say in the website. Simple things like you can drag files to import the files into the app. We can cite everything, which for research, we are citing everything. Okay. They say you can cite an article, a card, and a file. So let's see how it looks like. Tags and subtags. Yeah. So they have hierarchical tagging like other apps like Obsidian, for example. That's also really good. Bidirectional link. I don't think I will use an app nowadays if they don't have bidirectional link. If it's to take notes, if they don't have bidirectional link, it doesn't work for me anymore. So that's really good. Wiki entry, let's see what that's all about. File management, so you can also manage files. Let's see. What else? Inspiration efficiency, where the efficiency comes from. Visualize your mind, so they have something like mind maps. So I find that interesting because I like some visual organization of notes. Zettelkasten, by article comparison, which is very good for research. You may have like two versions of the same article and it wants to compare them. So let's see how it looks like. So overall statistics, word count, punctuation, paragraph count, goal setting. Those are very good for who is doing academic writing month, which is in November, coming soon. Where sometimes you like to have, I will write 300 words a day or something like that. So those are really good. And typewriter mode, which is really to remove distraction apparently. So that's good. Professional academic level, math equation, very important if you are in STEM. That's almost like you cannot use an app if it doesn't have math equation. So that's good. Paper template, okay, you're getting my interest. Zotero linkage, markdown syntax, so those are really good. Multi-column layout, let's see. For what? For the final thing? Well, let's see. And high quality export, multiple types of exporting. So drag and drop cards, multicolor layout type. So I think it's time for us to actually dive into how does it look like. So let me open the this is the app. Okay, so let's see how it actually works. So as soon as I open, there is here like project. I can see projects, and there are already a few things in there about the app, report, thesis, reading notes, essay, poem, novel. I think those are just basically folders, right? And it seems you can put some icons in the folder, so that's interesting. And then about Lattics, I hope I'm pronounced properly. It's a brain-like knowledge management, and here is empty. Okay, the structure of human brains, how it works, and its limitations. So this is a lot of text, which is nice. I want to read characteristics, minimize information, but I want to see how it looks like. So card-like content storage. Lattics provide a library of cards, hierarchical content relationship. Okay, so here I can already see that I can create a project, which is like a folder, apparently. Maybe it's a little bit more than a folder, no? So new project, let's say my ideas. Okay, let's say a paper. We have a paper 1. That's my project. Okay, so I can export the project. I can create new article. Okay, we have articles inside of project. So what could be my article? Could be introduction, could be related work. So could be like that, right? But if you're thinking about note taking, that's not how we would start note taking. I would not start by introduction or related work. I would start by reading something, taking notes on that something, and going from there. So yeah. So those are basically documents, and you can write stuff here. You can write stuff here. Okay, if I do right click, copy, paste, cut, delete, but there's many information like how to format the text. Okay, turn to card or turn to code, link to, cite, comment, or footnote. So I can write a comment here. This is a comment. Okay. The comment appears here on the side apparently. So if it's actually the final document, I could write a comment on the document with something that most people are used to. What else? What else? We can add a footnote. Testing footnote. Interesting. The footnote also appears here on the side as well. So comments and footnotes appear on the side. What else? We can turn that to card. What does that mean? So this became a card, cited card. What else here? Change display name. What else here? Okay, that's getting interesting. I think I know what I can do with that. A full site. What is a full site? Anything else? Anything else in terms of the right click? Turn to card. Turn to code. Okay, code is just formatting. No. What else now? There is cite. So cite and cite is something else. Apparently I can cite cards. Testing footnote, definition of prototype. Okay. And I can cite articles, which are those articles here. And the cards, I don't know where the cards are at this moment. I know they exist because I created one here and there are others, but where are those? So apparently I can just press add and I can add the card here. It's not a site. I cite in the card, yeah. Here, with more content. Okay, when I cite, apparently I'm embedding the card here. I'm not just referencing. Okay, I'm adding the card in there. But if I use link to, input or paste a link here. Okay, I suppose is an external link. Yeah, it's an external link to a website. Okay. Okay, so those are the articles, and I can press also slash, and there are more commands here. So headings, I can add a to-do, separator, I can cite, I can use a math equation. Okay, you can use some sort of LaTeX, even in here, just normally. If I put like X, and the underscore, and it goes down. And if I put the symbol to be up, it goes like this. Or apparently I can use LaTeX syntax, which this is what I wrote. Okay. So I can use LaTeX here directly, or try to use here some sort of LaTeX, but it doesn't appear as LaTeX here. It appears already as the final thing that I'm writing. So, okay, then it appears as a block, and I can move things up and down. Pretty much like Notion, for example, and many tools nowadays are starting to have that. You can move things around in the screen. What else do we have here? We can add tables. That's good. A, B, C. I want to see how table goes when you export it. So that will be cell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because many times the tables when you export, they don't work very well. Okay. And images, you can add images as well and just choose which image you want. That's my profile picture. Yeah, nice. Okay, those are the things that apparently I can do inside of an article. But let's explore what else is in the screen before I do an actual use case of what how I would be using it. So we have export. You can export in PDF. And it's exactly like it appears on the screen, apparently. So show page number, export footnotes. And by end of the document, interesting. Page break article or page break separate. I'm not sure what's that. Show page number, that's interesting as well. It already added page number for you. Advanced, you can add a header. Oh, that's cool. With a logo. If you have one. Footer, position of the footer, page margin. That's interesting, the amount of things you can do when exporting PDF. Apparently my Pro version didn't work, so I need to check it again. 1 second to check. Well, apparently my code didn't work, so it's good that we can see what is in the free version and what needs to be upgraded. So to export a PDF, we need to upgrade, so we're not doing that now. So you can also download Markdown, TXT as an image and as Word. Let's see how TXT works. Okay, TXT is kind of weird for obvious reasons, right? What else? Extension info. We can add tags. Here is how we can add more contextual information or metadata to the article. So I can add a tag, a memo, maybe information about the article. There is a forward link. What else here with more content? With a link from this article to the card, for example. He says there is a code, a piece of code here, and there is a table. Interesting, because it seems the table and the code themselves, they are things. So I don't know what can be done with those things. And here, by article comparison, okay, the by article comparison, just open a new tab here so we can let that article be on the site. And then whatever else you are working on, stay here. So we can always use one as a reference for the other, or even having the same. So you can read like down on one and up on the other. So that's interesting. You can have vertical or horizontal. I'm not sure if you can have, yeah, you cannot just move things around and place them in the space that you want. Yeah, but it's just really like the by article, and now the comments and the footnotes are just a button away. Interesting. Okay, so this is the article screen. So if I'm creating a project with an article, I can create like the sections and have each part here, and I can move them around as well. So I can, it's a little bit like Scrivener when you can just move sections around. So one section is down and then you move, now I want to talk about this first now. So it's very good to rearranging ideas when you're writing something. So that's really interesting, and creating storylines, as I like to talk about. And okay, and here now in the corner, we have the cards themselves. Okay, so I can resize here. So cards apparently just a big group of cards. Okay. Footnote becomes a card, which is interesting. You can show all, or you can show per project. So we have cards per project. So can we use the cards for another project, for example? And you can import. I'm not sure what's the import, what's the file or anything. Okay, that's interesting. Then next, we have the graph. What is the graph? Okay, we have the graph between the articles, and if I press a plus here, I'm just creating another sub article here. So maybe say related work. Advertisements 3. Three. Three. So I could have, then each thing that I create here will become an article there. So I can organize in this way, or I can organize my articles in this way. So I could potentially move things around. And just here, I'm not sure if I can modify. I can have colors for the lines and have a meaning for that. Maybe it's like, I'm not so sure about some of those, then I put different color. What else? Can I change this arrow? Can I create an arrow from here? I can close and I can open, but I cannot change any of those arrows apparently. I think if I do it here, I can, and it should appear there, yeah. But apparently I cannot do it the other way around. I can put it down here. Okay, so this is the mind map option. That is plot of story, where I suppose, let's say part 1. How does it know it's part 1? I'm not sure. Introduction. So I can write stuff here. Maybe a summary or what I want to do with that part of the story. Of here to remind me to discard, which is very interesting. Yeah, because sometimes we want to rearrange the story, we want to rearrange our thoughts, our ideas, and we want just a reminder, what is their idea about, how it fits in that specific location. But one thing that is bothering me a little bit is that it's too linear. Like I want to just spread things around, because by spreading things around, we can give more meaning to the cards, to each part. But here, everything is like, it's just a trip, it's just like, you need to put things in the same order, which I get is the same order as here, but I miss like the ability to move things around more freely. It's getting, everything is always connected to each other in a line. So that bothers me a little bit. That's maybe it's very good for who does Zettelkasten, because Zettelkasten, the idea is that you always have one card behind another card. Okay, it's always like that. So that may work very well. But in my case, I don't see why it must to always be like that. I like to move things around and give meaning visually in different ways. So that bothers me. But for plot, if you think a plot of a story, what's the order in which the story goes, then it does make sense. What else? And there's aerial view. Okay, that's nice. Then aerial view is more what we have in the document. You can actually see the inside of the document here. I cannot really, if I open more, I can see more of the document. So you can see what is inside of the document. I like this idea that you can have a card or an article in this case, and then you can put them into a table if you like, and you can have multiple perspective of it. You could have a perspective where you can see what's inside. You can have a form of visualization where you just have the name of it, and you have another where you can write something about that card that may not exist anywhere. It's just for that view of the organization of the card. So that's a very interesting way. And I suppose all those are based on per project. So it's always a view of the project itself. So the problem is if you don't have a project, if you're working on ideas in general, I don't know what happens. Okay. Yeah. So area view, so we can zoom in and zoom out. There is auto layout. Okay, let's see what happens. It's just to organize everything. And in this view, you can also see when it's linking to cards as well, which cards that it's using. So that's an interesting thing. Okay. And you get all that in the free version, because I say I did not upgrade. So this is all the free version. You can filter the content. You can decide if you want to see some things or don't want to see. Interesting, there are tags as well. Let's put a tag here in one of those. Let's see, tag. Let me close this. Let's add a tag here in the information. Say collaborators. Okay. Collaborators. Let's put the tag. Let's go back again and see what happened when you put the tag. Does the tag appear here as well? Apparently not. Oh, okay. It shows what is the tag of each card at the top of it. So you can see here that the tag is at the top of the article. What will be the article? Site graph. Site graph is show the cards that we are citing. And you can even search here as well. And you can find here. So you have a search to find what's in the screen. So that's interesting. But as I say, the only thing that is still kind of like, I'm not sure, is that everything is always in the structure, always in this tree structure. And I want more. I want to be able to create more. Yeah. And I can see per project, I can see tags. So I suppose tags, they just appear all here. Let's suppose if I create, can I mention one article inside of another to see what happens in there? So if I cite one article inside of another article, what happens with the view here? The tags view doesn't do anything really. Memo can have, again, you can have the title, or you can have this memo, or you can add some information, and you can have preview, it's what is inside. And here you can see the links. When you have the preview, you can see there is a link between those two, which is nice. If you want to do some personal management, you can do some sort of things like that. You can have maybe one project like personal, relationship management. You have all the people, you can have all the people that connect, you can have tags that could be part of it as well. Okay, let's go back to or paper one. So this was the graph view. And there is another option, which is flashcards. What are flashcards? Show answer. Show question. What is the question? I don't know. Where are the questions? There's related work. Let's see, introduction. I want to see introduction, not related work. Got it. Let's see the introduction. Stuff here to remind you what to do with this card. Show answer. Okay. So when you are interesting, so you can create flashcards. So when you are working the graph here, and then we are into the plot of story, we have this option to write stuff. Okay. So let's say related work. I could write questions like, what is this article about? So if I'm talking about a specific article, I can say, what is this article about? So when I go into flashcards and I open that specific one, what is this article about? Okay, and then I can think, what is it about? And then try to remember, and then show answer will show me what is inside of the article. In this case, the article is empty, but if there was any answer here in the article, there is an answer. The answer will appear here. So you can create your idea notes, hopefully, and then just by looking at the idea notes, you can have questions, and then you can, the article is the answer. So that's it. So is it you got it or enhance it? Let's say enhance. Enhancing means go to the next. I don't know. And got it is just jump. Okay. This option sort, and there is something that I have no idea what this word means. Ebbinghaus. That is for pro as well. I have no idea what that means. And sort, outline order, inverse outline order, or random. Okay, that's interesting. I'm not a big fan of flashcards, but if you are studying for an exam, you may want that. Okay. So style templates. Now is about the article again. I can choose a template. There's a default. There are some nice ones. Magazine, Economist. Let's go for one that has some content. Brooklyn, Economist, Medium. I like Medium. Apple Paper, Science, a report, Maple, Thinker, Diary Notes. So yeah, they changed the words themselves. I suppose that when you export, it should be on a different format. Maybe like footnotes and other things. Yeah. There's a science magazine. There's the Apple. I wonder if we can create our own template. Rename, set to default. Because you may not want the APA and science. You may want like, in my case, I will use like ACM or IEEE. So will not be those two. Okay. So I'm not sure if there is a way to maybe add a template. That would be nice. Maybe there is. Let's keep investigating. We can modify the styles here. You can say heading one, how heading one looks like, what's the quality. That's very nice. You can make it yours, totally yours. Line before paragraph. So for each one of those, that's what you do in Word, for example. You try to modify each one of those to work your way or the way that you are more comfortable writing. And the scope is for the current project or the current article. Can change just so each article can have a different thing, or for each project. And I wonder if you can actually change for everything, but I don't know. So style templates. So this was the style template. The next one is statistics. So information about this one. So how many words added, how many new cards, modified content, okay, and total in general. since it was installed. I installed it quite a while ago. And if you upgrade, I'm not sure what you get. So you need to see, you need to come back again when it's upgraded. And then there is a tutorial on the website, which is very good. So backup is a very important thing. Is all local, okay? So in the same way that other apps, there are some apps that where everything is online, some apps are totally local. This has local, and apparently you can synchronize, okay? So you can decide where it is and what is the service that you want to use to synchronize. So how managing hierarchical content. As I say, I don't really like the idea of always being hierarchical. I think it's too limiting, but I get where it's coming from. And here, apparently, you can move things around, which I was not able to. So I just don't know how to do it. Okay. Mood project structure. And this is an important part for me. Build a network and knowledge base, because network, it doesn't mean hierarchical. Okay, and that's what I do, so I want to know like how you do that. So you can tag things, I know that. Yeah, you can cite cards and other things through the site. Okay, we can backlinks and unlink it. I mentioned that, but I have not yet cited it. Graphs, mind map, plot view. Yeah, these are not graphs, those are trees. That's what's bothering me, because those are not graphs, they are trees. There is one type of graph, and I would like a more stronger type of graph, like image tables, code block. And there is file management. We can have the files here, so that's cool. Path mapping, import to copy. So yeah, I believe like if you have a Zettelkasten style, that may be really good, because the idea of cards is really like you create a card and the card exists here. But I'm not sure how you manage just having cards in here, which kind of like is a bit limiting. Yeah. So yeah. I'm not so, I didn't buy that, okay? But I really love how you can organize things here. So I'm just really a little bit disappointed. I was really looking forward with the idea of the cards. Like I think the cards are the thing, not the articles. The articles are, I create my cards first, the ideas that when you are reading, and then we take those cards and then we build something from them. And then it would be nice to actually rearrange them, give like type, subtype. But what it seems here is that the assumptions behind the app is that you have a paper, you are working on a paper specifically, so you're reading things for that paper, you are doing things for that paper. Then you're creating a card, and then you are saying what do you want to say. Let's say I don't know, personal knowledge, because what I want to be able to say is something like this. For example, personal knowledge management can be subdivided into idea management, action management, reference management, and others. So the thing is, I created this knowledge, I created this card, but then now I want to create another card about idea management, another card about action management, another card about reference management, and I want to have this card with a name. I want to give a name to this card. This is a thing that I want to talk about for the personal knowledge management. As a card, it seems that that's not what it does, okay? Let's see if I can cite something here, but how can I convert these? Can I convert these into another card? turn to card. I'm not sure why appeared that upgraded. So, okay, I can create a card called idea management. I can create a card for action management. I can create a card for reference management. Okay. But what is this? That's tone link. I don't want that. Okay. But what's the name of this? This doesn't really have a name. It doesn't need to have a name. It's just like a piece of text. A card is a piece of text, which many people would have that in a Zettelkasten. It's just like a piece of text. That's what I want to store, but you don't have a way to reference. That's why you have to put one thing behind the other. Otherwise, you'll never find it again because you don't know how to find it again. In my case, I create things with a name. Okay, my card have a name. So in that case, the card here, I either need to hack it somehow by giving it a name at the top. Let's say personal knowledge management, and then I continue on that. Okay. And then if I'm writing an article where I want to talk about idea management or personal knowledge management, then yeah, it's getting the first line as the name. Okay. So the first line becomes the name. So that's good. Okay. But then if I want to find that card again, so I can keep working on that card and not on the project, how can I do that? Because in the list of cards, I just see a list of cards, literally. It's just like a bag of cards. And if I open a new, the bag of cards is an overall bag of cards. But in my case, in my personal no-stake system, I have more 3,000 cards. So I wouldn't like to have a list of 3,000 cards just so that I can find. So if I want to work again in the card for personal knowledge management, I want to write now what this thing is. How can I find that card? I even have a goal, how many words I want to have in here per card and per article. Yeah, so that's a friction that I'm kind of finding that I don't know how to solve. I don't know if there is a solution in here. Okay, because my other option will be create a project. Okay, create a project where I call idea notes, and then now everything comes here. Okay, I just create like it's a bag of everything. So I can say project management. Oops. Knowledge management. And I could say knowledge management is divided into idea management. But then as I write, I want this now to become an article. Then if everything will be an article, if all my idea notes to be articles, I want this to be an article. But there is no option here to create an article. So I need to come, every time I think about something else, I need to first search to see if there is an article with that name. Oh, no, then I need to come here and then create an article and then call that idea management. And then I need to go back to the place and then select again. And then decide that I want to see. It's kind of like too many steps. And then coming, and then now I have a link, which is exactly what you don't want when you have a linked based note-taking app, is that having go and come back. It's like at the moment I want to link, I should be able to link like that or create something that's already linked. So that's the goal. And I think that's the goal here. But I either create as a card, and if I have 1,000 cards, I don't know how to search them. I don't know how to navigate them. I don't know how to look at them because everything is based. We saw all those visualizations are based on the articles themselves. And on the other side, if I create all of my idea notes as articles, I don't have a way to link them. Okay. So if you do idea management in the way that I do idea management, which is not a Zettelkasten, okay, unfortunately, you cannot use the tool, which I'm a bit sad for that. But if you use Zettelkasten in the what most people talk about being a Zettelkasten, have, say, the cards, and the cards are just like in a box, which you still have a problem, okay? Because everyone who is using really Zettelkasten, you want to link the cards, you want to search them, you want to find them. So that's a little bit more tricky. Yeah, I really don't know. I really don't know. Even with Zettel, because if you want to use Zettelkasten just with the hierarchical structure here, you can create a new article, but if you are inside of an article, you want to link to create another article while you are there without having to go out, create and come back and do all those things, you cannot really. Unless there is a way that I don't know. Okay, so those are my first thoughts. So the next thing I would like to know, let's see if I can find. Let's see what are those buttons down here. Okay, information about characters, how many, if you want to set up a goal, like deadline and a number of words, sequence reading, and what else? Typewriter mode. Let me close this on the side. Typewriter mode. Nice, because it's always at the center of the screen, so you need to look there. The text moves rather than your eyes having to move and go down. So that's something that some people like to rest the eyes, although I'm not sure if that's a good thing. There is focus mode, everything disappeared, that's perfect, like nothing popping up in the screen. I was looking for that, so that's a good one. And there is keyboard sound. The keyboards make sound. That's interesting. And how do I go back? If I press ask. Okay, fine. Oh, now I'm back. Okay, so for writing is really good. What I would like to try is like, okay, let's suppose I create all my idea notes in another app. I use another app for that. I create all of them, and now I want to create a project from that. How can I import them? How can I import my markdown files and add them here? There are not many options here. Oh, there's a plus import. I'm not sure what types of files I can import here. So let's see. So here I've just imported a few markdown files from the app that I use. So they appear here on the side as different articles in the same way as here. With some weird names, because that's how my app, the app that I use, does. How can I check? Okay, here's the name. So when you can export this markdown, but when you import this markdown, the links don't appear in the way, like they don't appear as links, they appear like this, okay, the weak links at least. Even when you have all the files here, it does appear as a link to that file. So there's that. So you lose all the links, which in this case you may not care as much if you are just like try to get the final output here, but most of the time I think I would prefer that my links are there. And I think you cannot import them as cards as well. Oh, no, we can import cards. Let me see what happens when I import them as cards. Okay, they are here. Maybe importing them as cards is better because they are not part of the output. They're just my notes that will serve as the output. The main issue now, let's see, introduction, for example. I can say, PKM is important. How everyone starts, PKM is getting a lot of attention, increased attention recently. Receiving, increased attention recently, blah, blah, blah. And then I can say personal. Oh, yeah, now I have a bigger problem because all those cars that I imported, they have a weird title. And then what came here as a title of the car is the weird title. So I cannot find, it's just like gibberish. See, appears like 1x. So if your tool doesn't have a good title for your cards, you're doomed. In my case, I'm doomed. Or I need to be looking one by one, and it appears just like this when I cite in the card. Yeah. Could potentially open. Edit this standalone view. No. Yeah. Yeah. On a first view, by the way, how I usually work is very different from the way I usually work, and it will not work for me. Even like with other apps, just for the purpose of writing, I understand that from another perspective, this app will be really, really good. Let's say if you're just like if you're used to Scrivener, just want to write pieces of a text, and then you want to rearrange those pieces, that would be really good. If you have a Zettel custom where you already take notes in a linear hierarchical order, that's it. Okay. If you like to write notes per project and always have the project tied inside of the project, maybe that will also be good. That's not my case. My notes are free. My ideas are free. My ideas are not dependent on a project, okay? My ideas exist, and they are the core of everything, and they are not hierarchical. I don't organize them hierarchically. I like to not organize them hierarchically, and there are reasons for that. So in that case, it wouldn't really work for me, for my specific use case. But I can see how it can be really, really good for people who are using a Zettel custom, who have a Zettel custom practice that hierarchical note taking, okay, mostly, okay, or linking to things to nodes that you already have. So that will be good. Or for people who don't care about network and notes making anyway, they just want to reorganize their output and work direct on the output, then these will also be very good. Which is very common in academia. People are like, I don't do notes. I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even know what you're talking about network and notes taking. So that's that. So in terms of knowledge creation with my specific use case, on a first view, on an onboarding, because this is onboarding, I don't see how I would be able to use it. But I really would hope. I really hope that it will change my mind. So let's see. The team has sent me, let's say, a code for the pro. Let's see if I can make that work. And if I make that work, the team has also sent me a use case where it really shows how the app can be used. So maybe we can explore a little bit more the app in that case. So if you have interest, let me know in the comments below, and then you can look at the Lattics or Lattics app again in the near future, okay? So with that, I leave it here, and I see you soon.